What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Hello there, hope you guys are well. We have a quick Isle lore update. This is probably something on YouTube I might want to do a bit more to spread the good word on things that have changed. Although nothing big or crazy like full-on lore videos with my terrible and overly complicated theories, more so small stuff like what we'll be talking about today. If you haven't already read the title, we actually have a really weird little update / model change from this current Horde test, paired with a really neat and interesting observation that a friend of mine, TS1, noticed for us from Evrima that predates Gateway. This, of course, is about the water tanks, specifically the two water tanks, the white one and the greyish, darkish one. So, what has changed? The model has been revamped for the first time, probably since Update 4, maybe a bit later, give or take. Alas, both models are a bit more clean. Not that there isn't dirt and weathering on them still, but they look far more round and shiny, although that could be in tandem with Lumen. However, it is also mostly because there is a lack of Apollo engineering advertising, i.e. their logo, on the actual plastic of the model. Wait a minute. What logo though? This is the crazy, quote-unquote, brand new AE logo seen in the replay filter system. A crazy oversight on my behalf. But all of a sudden, now that logo and the text below it are gone. And if we look at the front of the water tank, we can now see further model edits. No longer does it specifically say AE class water, where the title likely ends with tank. Now it visibly says, if you have a look at the new model, class water, ending with tank quite likely if you spot the K. However, and thanks to the Serato for pointing this out to me, it actually does still say AE class water, but as you may be able to tell, the AE part of this is 1, visually hard to spot, and 2, using the original AE logo. Not specifically text like the old model, and not the new AE logo from the last water tank model version. I mean specifically the AE logo seen in Legacy to Evrima, the AE logo. But why? Why this little change that probably won't and will not affect anyone's life at all? Maybe besides mine a bit. But why? It's very weird, especially since now we can actually see the high resolution version thanks to the replay filter system. Why bring one and take away the other? And honestly, our biggest theory about the logo is that it is both a satire on new corporate minimalism, but also a way of showing that AE is, or has been, however we want to see the timeline, active to some degree for some time. Not that that means that they have been active on Gateway the whole time, just that they have existed in the world of the Isle lore for quite some time, specifically enough time for a logo change. And no, I do not think this is going to be the new AE logo for once the UI changes come. This is made a bit more evident with the water tank model changing, now that it actually uses the original AE logo instead of that new version. What I will say though, rhetorically for the future, where will this logo be? It clearly isn't another Apollo subsidiary. It uses such a similar design as the old one and says AE on it. No doubt about that, it must be for Apollo engineering specifically. Could it be for a specific AE branch of sorts? Maybe security, but the design is so minimal that it has no true indication. Not even a graphic designer could probably say. One final thing that I'm curious about is if and how other islands will work, specifically in terms of on the timeline. If we have an island that has been reclaimed by Apollo engineering to some degree, if that is even possible, would it have this new logo? Maybe on a new island made by AE? I would love to know the real purpose behind this logo. Alas, that should be all. I would love to hear all of your opinions on the new logo and any theories on it. Or, if you want, even on the water tank. Thank you, and have a nice day.